Albert's Entanglement, Quasi-Quasiverse. Chapter 2, New Worlds to Explore. It would take 3 days for Albert's team to reach the starship Neuron. 1 day to experience the technological Tower City space elevator, then 2 days on a shuttle to the Neuron. Tower City is a wonder all to itself. With a 5-mile circular footprint, it is a marvel at every level. Built on top of Mount Elbert with a 14,000-foot elevation for the first level. Each level served specific function to allow for the self-sustainability of the city. The first few levels are agricultural, residential, entertainment, research, business, etc. The Beehive's vertical supports allow for large freight elevators to take just about any craft to an elevation within reach of outer space, saving launch expenses. The upper levels are serviced by NARA building devices that can deal with the lack of atmosphere and extreme cold. Shuttles run almost daily between Tower City and the starship Neuron. The shuttles are like small luxury cruise ships, equipped with everything one might need for long journeys. A fully staffed shuttle may be as many as 50 crew members. Luckily, only the main staff was on board the Gateway shuttle, and it was fully stocked for an extended round-trip shuttle run. The 2-day trip from Tower City to Neuron Station was also full of wonder. Cargo space cleaning barges can be seen along the way. Space debris holds great value. Recycling old materials and mining space rocks makes travel safer, along with intelligent use of available material and minerals. Once on the starship Neuron, Albert's team got right to work. After visiting the dock vanishing site, they met in a conference room designated as the Search Party Main Station. All information regarding the search is gathered by NARA devices into a separate mainframe, yet connected to the Quantum Naris AI mainframe. The amount of knowledge available is staggering. Somehow, at this point in the story, they felt it may not be enough. The startup team are Albert Jennings, the Time/Spacemaster, his empathic wife Mary, the oldest son Brandon, master of communication wizard, interpreter, bridges language barriers. Penny, harmonic empress, she taps into and can replicate the frequency/vibrations that create complex form. Charles, the youngest child, calls himself molecule manipulator. This describes his essence ability the best. Myra, Charles calls Myra. The nurturer, her ability of recognizing illness and realigning with the universe expands well beyond her immediate surroundings. Zeb, the multi-dimensional advisor, pops in whenever he is needed. Albert's muse and friend, he is like a librarian for the Akashic records. Back with the Gateway shuttle. While the search team gathered information needed to form a plan that should bring results, the vanished Gateway crew was reviewing the NARA probe's initial report. The first NARA described what could be compared to a college campus or learning center. In stealth mode, NARA 1 was able to learn the local dialect. Each NARA shared with NARA group data stream the learned information in present-time reality. This language information helped the whole probe task force. NARA 1 displayed an abundance of the locals' knowledge and folklore. To start, the indigenous beings called this planetoid environment mockery. They believe that nothing exists but the vastness of mockery, the all-provider. Technology has allowed the inhabitants global communication. The locals' favorite broadcasting leader was introducing the idea that mockery was not the only reality. He is known as WOW. One could consider WOW the leader or one of the leaders on/in mockery. His global broadcast reached over 24 billion beings in mockery. This make WOW the most influential being, if not the leader. The production crew behind the scenes, how and why, provide curriculum for the big show. WOW's childlike mind is magnetic. His wondrous reaction to anything new can only warm the most hardened of moods. This thirst for discovery is what makes WOW so popular. Yet this is not the most amazing thing about these beings. NARA 2 had a completely magical recap. Just beyond the hilltop landing site, there are dancing islands that are levitated above the grounded topography. The large islands moved about with the movements of the moons. A tiny spark of light was spotted. Nara 2 went into stealth mode to follow the spark, being into a cave at the top of one of the islands. Inside the cave was illuminated by thousands of these tiny spark beings. They seemed to be mining crystals that they call realium. We would soon find out the value of realium. The realium must be nourished by the belief or intent of the user of any realium. It takes many cycles of intense belief to crystallize realium. This lengthy process is rewarded with a mineral that can literally create a new reality for the world/existence. Nara 2 noticed how all the actual labor was being accomplished through the will of this central being. Queen, ruler, purpose provider, reality ruler, Your Highness. We will later learn that this being is called Sparkle, the Realium Queen. The origins of realium are explored in the Nara 3 recap. Nara 2 noticed a central viewer where the WoW telecast could be seen. The spark beings, called the Eternal Embers, loved the entertainment WoW provided. They spoke the same language that the Nara group was already assimilating. Nara 3 started his mission playing favorite tunes on its broadcaster. Nara 3 would soon be joined by a wispy, breezy, pixie-like being that Nara later called Gusty. Gusty went unnoticed at first, but Nara soon noticed the rhythm of the windburst matched the beat of the music. Gusty guided Nara 3 to a small lake. Around the lake were one miracle after another. First off was the images Nara 3 started receiving while approaching the large pond. Large pond or small lake? Why the distinction? The answer would soon become clear. Living flower plants walking around, independent of the ground that feeds them. Nara 3 was flooded with images while a water being mentally greeted Nara. In an instant, Nara witnessed the billion-year creation of the planet now called Mockery. The central sun, with the 3 orbiting planet-sized moons, attracted but also repelled any matter that is anywhere close to this contained solar system. At the beginning of the inside crust of Mockery is when that massive asteroid littered with realium water and rock got caught in the quasi-gravity field. The asteroid broke off with sparks as it approached the gravitational field of what was becoming Mockery. After millions of years of traveling through space, the pond finally found a resting place as Mockery continued growing, pulling anything towards it. The pond water that was surrounded by realium for so long had conscious memory of the trip through space and the settling, becoming a part of a greater being called Planet Mockery. Pondering its new fate of stagnation within the confines of the natural surroundings, the consciousness of the pond water created hard water constructs. The first water construct is called Flow. The construct is formed from the memory of beings that once explored the asteroid while traveling through space. Flow became the first of many ponderer constructs to be born from the pond. Flow could move about where the pond was stuck in one location. Even though the link between the pond and Flow could not be broken, Flow soon developed individuality, realizing the separateness of the oneness. The images concluded with Flow greeting the Nara probe like they are old friends. Flow is now thousands of years old. Time is measured differently here in Mockery. All this information just streamed through the Nara database. It only takes a bit of moisture on sensors for the ponderer to communicate, but Flow finally spoke.
I like what you call music. The wind you call Gusty is always with us, no matter where he is. Gusty is part of the pond consciousness that was created when entering the gravitational field of the central sun. As is, Gusty is part of the steam created from entry. Gusty, along with the Eternal Embers, have been here since the beginning of the new cycle. Now that we can talk, you may find me a little chatty. Talking is a slow way of conversing. Talking is the least intrusive form of communication. Seriously, we know all about you. You have touched the consciousness of a cosmic being, and I am being modest.
The spigot was now a steady trickle as Flo poured out conscious verbal liquidity. Flo informed Nara that the pond is sending Flo with the Nara unit. Get used to my ponderings.
My mate Tap is also coming with you, do not worry. Tap is closed most of the time. You must open Tap up to get anything out of him. We have a connection with everything, and there is a bond to it all. The pond is indirectly responsible for you and your crew's arrival. Yes, we know about your arrival. Maybe the flow needs to stop for a while. Just like you, Nara, flow is unintentionally intrusive. You may find me a little bit freaky, but look at yourself, a little flying information-gathering robot toy. Do not fear. Go with the flow. Smile. We love you.
Flo and Tap went back to the Gateway shuttle with Nara 3, and whether we like it or not, the Ponderers are now part of our crew. You cannot uncrack an egg. Nara 4 came across a small city. What is strange about this city is the lack of roads. No roads or even beaten paths leading in or out of this city. There are no cars, trains, planes, bikes, billboards, or other ordinary things seen on an Earth city. How do the beings come and go? Food trees were all around the buildings with the locals reaping the nourishing fruits. There is a central building that seems to have the most activity. In stealth mode, Nara 4 entered the building that was like a train station, but there were no trains arriving or departing. Instead, there was row after row of clear tubes with exit doors. The beings would appear one at a time inside one of the tubes, exit to go about their business. These beings are more advanced than we first realized, or so it seems. Was it possible that teleportation is an ability of these beings? Could the tubes serve an alternative purpose? It appears to be a natural, instinctive, common way of travel to these little beings. The biggest native we have seen so far are no taller than 2 feet. Squatty bodies, pointy ears, friendly faces. They were everywhere in the city, walking around purposely, with friendly greeting along their way. What that purpose is stands as a mystery. The other mystery is, how did this city get built? At this point, it seemed that their teleportation technology may have some answers as to how we ended in this planet mockery. This is such a humongous planet, and we have only seen a tiny bit of it. Nara 5 did not return at this time. This story will have to wait. With an up-to-date summary of the NARA probe's adventures, after meeting Flo and Tap, it was time for the crew to explore as well. Zero and Peep may fit in easily. Everyone else are giants on or in this world. Seth shapeshifted into a bug to fit in. Zero, Peep, and Seth, Bug and Nara 1, decided to visit WoW first. Flo offered, almost insisted, to accompany them, but gracefully backed down when encouraged to stay. Zero lets Flo know.
This is just a reconnaissance mission. Observe only. Introductions are for a later mission. We need to find the best way to conquer this planet.
Flo responds,
Sarcasm. You are a funny being, Zero. I feel your heart and know your true intent, so I laugh with you, ha ha ha. I do not have to be with you to be with you, ha ha ha. I love you guys already. You are all linked like the Ponderers, forever a part of a cosmic pond consciousness. Get used to it. Ha ha. We are forever entangled.
With a scolding chirp, Peep speaks out.
Zero, you need to watch what you say. Not everyone is as empathic as our new friends Flo and Tap.
I get what you are saying, but I know you snickered a little when I said it. World domination has always been my goal. My inner world is in rebellion continually. I am too lazy to conquer, then rule anyone. You know that. Lighten up, bro.
Wow, How, and Why are discussing the metallic object that was seen coming out of the infernal gorge. Nara 1 translates for the team. They know something arrived at their enclosed reality in response to their receptive broadcast. The broadcast was about being receptive to any consciousness other than the closed reality of mockery. A worldwide intention experiment. Nara 1 agrees to be the bridge to meet these beings, purposefully getting found by a reptile-looking house pet. The lizard pup brought its prize catch right to WoW, looking for a treat in return. Nara 1 reported.
I am in possession.
After a successful infiltration, the team returned to the shuttle,